In 2022 het die destydse hoofregter Raymond Zondo die finale staatskapingsverslag bekendgestel. Die kommissie van ondersoek na staatskaping het na honderde ure se getuienis geluister, duisende dokumente bestudeer en uiteindelik verskeie verdoemende bevindinge gemaak. Dit is nou al 3 jaar later en nog steeds is nie een van die groot staatskapers agter tralies nie. Die hoof van die nasionale vervolgingsgesag se ondersoekdirektoraat, advokaat Andrea Johnson, sluit by my aan. Advocate, so you've been in office since March 2022. What would you say have been your biggest successes?
Well, I think the biggest success is ensuring that the ID, now IDEC, became permanent, which became permanent in August of 2024. It is the ability now to be able to recruit personnel, especially criminal and financial investigators, and it's the ability to be able to give more focus and priority to the state capture recommendations.
Well, on that point, given the recommendations, the report, the evidence that you have access to, I believe, as far as my knowledge goes, not a single one of those individuals named in the final report has been prosecuted. Why is that?
You are incorrect. The final report came out in 2022, that is June. The report is not evidence. The report is based on commission evidence. We still have to go through the facts. We have to take statements. We have to subpoena bank documents. We subpoena company documents. The evidence given at the commission does not bear the weight and the gravitas that is required in a criminal matter. The test is completely different. So it takes time. There's forensic investigations that must be done, financial flows that must be considered, digital forensics that has to be done. The NDPP has said, and let me reiterate, the State Capture Commission report and its findings are not a blueprint for criminal prosecution. There's a lot of work to be done. High profile, by whose definition? We have matters, high profile matters. We have the ESCOM matter with Hlakudi and Michael Lomas, who was extradited from the UK in court. We have the Transnet Transaction Advisory with Brian Molefe, Siyabonga Gama, Anuj Singh. We have state security matters that are currently in court. We have quite a few matters. We have high-profile South African Police Service lieutenant generals and heads of components in court. So I'm not sure high-profile by whose definition, because what IDEC does not and will not do is go after the profile of the individuals. We go after the evidence, and the evidence must support the law, and that is what we do.
So what was the use then of the Zondo Commission, would you say?
I guess the commission was a truth-finding exercise. It does lay a basis for the allegations that we do look at. Judge did make recommendations, but they must be investigated. Those recommendations on their own cannot be used in court. So I cannot, for example, if you gave a statement to the commission, take it as is, place it in a docket, and that becomes evidence. I have to retake your statement. I may have to have a confirmatory statement from yourself. I have to then find supporting evidence for that which you aver in your statement. So it's not a cut and dried, take from there, put here, go to court. The burden of proof is completely different.
But I think most South Africans would have expected more progress in 3 years. It's a lot of time.
So more progress in 3 years. At the time I took over IDEC in March 2022, we had 12 criminal investigators. I'm not sure how much progress you want. Fast forward to 2025, we have 50 cases in court, 37 from state capture, 13 high-profile corruption matters. We've issued 49 mutual legal assistance requests to 21 countries from January 2022 to date. We've contributed to the FATF process. So I'm not sure what fast and pace means. 50 matters for a small unit. Its current composition is only 126, of which only 25 are criminal investigators.
Why is it still a small unit then? You've been asking for years for more resources. So why is it not forthcoming?
We do have the budget, but we were only able to permanently recruit as of August last year. So adverts, the recruitment process takes time. However, the applicants, many people apply. You need a specific caliber of person to hit the ground running. That's not what we're getting.
What are you getting? What kind of applicants?
We get people who may have the qualification, very little to no experience. And we need people with experience, people who've done corruption matters, who know how to chase the money, who know how to deal with high-profile individuals without being intimidated, and at the same time be able to speedily build up a case without compromising. And unfortunately, we're not getting that caliber of investigators. I think you would have seen the DPCI, the Hawks, having similar challenges, the SIU. We all literally are fishing in the same very little pond for the very same capabilities, which is criminal investigators.
I think that point has been made, and you refer to the Hawks as well. I think the whole criminal prosecution value chain have their challenges, but at what point do we go from saying these are the reasons why we can't get the job done to it being an excuse?
So what I can't afford to do is make excuses. What I've told you is my reality. It's actual challenges. People can call it excuses. It isn't. The reality is you need quality prosecutors and investigators, both criminal and financial, in a specialist capacity. You cannot just populate a capacity. And so we are getting through the work despite the fact that we are such a small composition.
So in terms of a time frame, you did speak about some of the, I think some people would call them high-profile cases, Eskom, Transnet, Denel, SAA. When can we expect prosecutions?
So we already have Transnet prosecutions. We have another one coming up very shortly. I would have told you watch the space, but then we'd give the suspects a heads up. Eskom, the Matsela Cocoa matter will be re-enrolled, as is the Estina matter, which is the Estina Friede Dairy Farm matter. But what we sought to do was to make sure that every part or every facet of those investigations are complete. I just would like to, if you would allow me, if you take the Cocoa matter, for example, it's not just forensic investigations, it's also digital forensic investigations. Just the digital forensic investigations report is over 8,000 pages. It is a mammoth task. What we cannot do is, okay, let's ring fence. Choose 5 people that, and build the evidence. We cannot build evidence around people. We've got to look at the evidence first. Who does it then implicate? But you have to do the full ambit of the investigation. You could quickly rush a prosecution only to find that, oops, we've missed quite a bit of evidence. That, for me, is more embarrassing. I'd rather take the time to do it properly.
And I just want to ask you, Advocate, how far are we away from perhaps getting the Gupta brothers back into South Africa?
So the Gupta extradition still remains a challenge only because we, to date, wrote 12 note verbals asking why were they not extradited. We still do not have reasons from the UAE. We then decided we might as well go ahead and finish our other investigations. At the time, the Gupta extraditions only dealt with Estina and the New Lane matter. There are other matters that implicate the Guptas, and we've sought to now finalize those as part of then a larger extradition application. And also with the Guptas, the challenge we also had is the UAE has concurrent jurisdiction to charge for the money laundering. They said they will, they didn't. So even if we decided, okay, let us resubmit the application, we cannot. They've got to tell us either we're going to charge for the money laundering or we're not going to. I cannot tell you what they're going to do. Safe to say that if they were going to charge for the money laundering, they would by now have issued a mutual legal assistance request to South Africa, to IDAC, and to date they haven't done that.
Advocate Johnson, thank you so much and good luck.
Thank you.